Alchemist Astrologer, and this is your April report for Pisces Sun, Pisces Moon, and Pisces Rising. So you are represented by the Four of Cups and the Death card. So you may be dissatisfied with something that is, maybe this is renewed dissatisfaction or the end of your dissatisfaction. There's something that you are rethinking, you're reevaluating. Maybe you're taking a time out to contemplate that. And perhaps you're wondering, given the history of how things have played out in your relationship, whether you made the right choice, the right decision. So you're thinking about your actions, the consequences of your actions, and you may be reconsidering your position. Now, there may be something on offer. Perhaps you're dissatisfied with something. This could be something, maybe you're dissatisfied with being in crisis situations, intense situations. Maybe you're dissatisfied with the sexual aspect of your relationship, the intimacy of it. For some of you, maybe there's something centering around large sums of money. But there's some kind of transformation, an ending, a change, and perhaps you're not exactly pleased with that, or you're considering it. So you're going over your options. Now, you may be turning your back on something, something that you're not pleased with. You don't like what's being offered, or you're not coming to terms with that a situation has transformed, it changed, and it's difficult for you to acknowledge that something has changed in the relationship. It could be that there's something on offer, and if you're in a good place, you've made some positive changes, you feel good emotionally, physically, that you're just taking your time considering what's on offer. Something is available to you, and you have the power to decide whether you want that thing or not. But for others of you, there could be something that you're so focused on, some kind of objective or a goal or a dilemma or something that you're trying to solve, that this may not be a good time for you to be receptive, or you feel that way. That maybe your partner's reaching out to you, and yet you're not taking on any kind of social functions, any activities, any offers of love, any proposals of attention, because you've got your eye on something else that you have to accomplish. So you may be dissatisfied with some changes, or you may be dissatisfied with an offer, or you're considering making some changes. And you're questioning perhaps the wisdom. Maybe you're getting some spiritual guidance about whether something is fortunate. Maybe something has occurred that appears fortuitous, and you're really considering whether it's right for you. Now, your partner is represented by the Sun and the Six of Swords. So for some of you, this may be a tie to a Leo person. But for others of you, perhaps there's a focus. Maybe you want to, your partner wants to take a vacation, or maybe this is an influence that they're having on you. They're trying to offer you some kind of recreation or a vacation, or they want to be more romantic, and perhaps you're dissatisfied with the romance, or you're focused on other things. But this is also being frustrated with trying to move on from a situation in some cases. Some of you, maybe this is a long distance romance. Others of you, maybe you're focusing on travel. Maybe you're thinking of going overseas, or your partner is. For others of you, there's been some issues surrounding children or your expression, whether you're happy, whether you feel a sense of well-being, whether you're healthy or your partner is. So you may be moving on from a romance, or trying to create some beneficial changes, or your partner is. This is you revisiting some issues that may have been frustrating for you. Something where you're, going back to square one and looking at it in order to create a better circumstance. Now, for some of you, this may be moving on from a negative situation that was toxic or abusive. And so you're still navigating to get some understanding. You're not out of the woods yet, or you haven't gotten to the other side of something quite yet. You're still working through some issues. And for some of you, you're going to have patience. This is going to mean putting in some effort. Now, maybe that means putting more effort toward romance or your happiness or your success. But you're either moving on or moving toward something better in the relationship. Now, with the sun, your partner may be very attractive, very dynamic. Maybe your partner gets a lot of attention, or maybe that's an issue between you. Who's getting the attention or the recognition or the spotlight? Your partner may be somebody who generally makes you feel supported and loved. You feel the warmth, the generosity, the heat of the sun. It feels good. Or you may feel like you got burned by your partner. Either somebody is being very loyal and playful and spontaneous, and there's something optimistic and cheerful about your relationship, or you may be frustrated. Somebody may be aggressive or domineering or bullying in some kind of way. Or somebody may be narcissistic. This is the sun, and the sun, maybe somebody thinks that events should revolve around them. So you may be moving on from that, or you may be focused on being more happy with your partner. There's something that somebody may be putting something out there. They're being very bold in their expression. And it may have to do with perspective, the boldness of, the audacity of someone. You may be looking at something through rose-colored glasses, or your partner is, or perhaps there's a conscious choice to create beneficial change by consciously choosing to see the better parts of your partner or circumstance. For some of you, the key to moving through negative situations with your partner is to keep that frustration intact, to remain friendly, hopeful, diplomatic. Be careful about how you're speaking. There is something, regardless of whatever's going on between you, that contains a lot of hope, a lot of potential. And, you and your partner may be focused on your future, creating some changes that make you feel more alive. Your romance is characterized by the King of Swords and the Two of Wands. This could be air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female, or just the traits of this king. Now, some of you're doing a review of some sort, and the goal of which is to handle things more effectively in your relationship. Now, you may find that, somebody's looking for play, for fun, for spontaneity. And your romance may be characterized by overthinking or overanalyzing. Perhaps you're involved with somebody who has a different style of loving. Their way of loving is to come up with a solution, to try to make things okay, to analyze a circumstance and to, fix it. And you may be looking for more intimacy. This is a king who has difficulty expressing his intimate thoughts. It's not that he doesn't have feelings. He just doesn't know how to verbalize those. He's very analytical. So you may be doing some kind of a review. Now, for some of you, there may be some kind of frustration or issues concerning business or health or children. And you may be involved in a situation where you need to connect to someone of authority. You need to get some counsel, or you're dealing with somebody who has the power to make a decision. So this could be a judge, a lawyer, somebody's in charge, somebody who has authority, somebody that may be giving you some advice. He may be protecting your interests. He's working to serve you. So again, you want to handle things more effectively. You're doing this review of some opportunity, and it could be that either of you were trying to win the other person's affection. You're going out of your way. Now remember, you have this Four of Cups where you're turned away. Your partner may be going out of his way to try to woo you or seduce you. Or perhaps, there's a review of whether you should move forward in a situation, in a relationship. You have some hesitancy about, should you make the first move? Should you allow this person? You may be out of sync with one another. You're in agreement, you may have attraction, but for whatever reason, you're just not on the same page. Could be life circumstances, you're going in different directions. But, it could also be that you and your partner are sending each other mixed signals. You say this, but then you behave that way. Or your partner is. And so you never really come to a full understanding. You're doing a review of that. Now, this may pertain, again, to whether you want to join forces with another person, whether you want to, be a team, a partner, whether you want to travel somewhere. Maybe there's a job opportunity, or you want to move. You may feel that you need to analyze and look at a situation. Something is missing. There's a hole, and you're trying to figure out what that is. This is good, but maybe it could be better. Or, yeah, but is there something more? So you may be looking at, taking something to the next level. You're doing this review. It may simply be that you're using your communication skills because you want to drive a point home. You want to let somebody know something. Maybe there is some frustration that needs to be addressed. Or maybe there's been some accusations. So you're looking at a situation and trying to figure out how to improve it, how to make it better. And you're doing a lot of thinking. Again, maybe you're getting some counseling. Maybe you feel, somebody's all in their head. You're doing a lot of thinking, but maybe you feel like you're not being taken seriously. Because again, there's some kind of frigidity. There's a coldness and aloofness. And you're looking for the warmth of the sun, and all you're getting is this icy response. Maybe the relationship is cooling off. Maybe one of you, has an issue with sexual intimacy. Or somebody may feel like they're left out in the cold with regard to something. Now, the problem area is the Chariot and the Hierophant. So now we have Cancer energy, Taurus energy. There's some kind of conflict where you're going to have some self-mastery, or your partner is. This is about doing what is expected. Perhaps commitment is an issue, or marriage is a focus. There may be maybe you're traveling with regard to some kind of commitment. This may be a ceremony, a wedding, an anniversary, a birthday. You may also have conflict with institutions and somehow that affects your relationship. Maybe this is the company, the government, especially if you're dealing with a lawyer, education situations. So something about your relationship is tied to travel or communication. And it's going to be something related to romance, or perhaps seeking some kind of excitement or something out of the ordinary. For some of you, maybe, transportation is an issue somehow. Doing what's expected, traveling somewhere. But you may be very focused. Again, one of you may be focused on success or business or your health or other concerns outside of the romance. And you may be willing, or your partner may be willing, to run over the other one in order to meet that objective or that goal. There's a need to work together as a team to achieve something. You may be apathetic, or your partner may be, and that could be an issue. That creates the conflict. So this is about reconciling some differences with your partner, differences within yourself, the shadow versus the light. You may have to bring something into balance. And in the interim, you may feel very emotional, or your partner. In fact, you may have difficulty suppressing your anger, or your partner, because of whatever is happening. The Hierophant says that maybe somebody's procrastinating about something, or maybe there's some unkind accusations or some gossip or some rumors that may or may not involve you. Maybe you're on the sidelines watching the action. But more than likely, this is about an expectation level. Again, something was put on offer. Maybe somebody's turning their back to it. Maybe some promises that have been made and not fulfilled. Somebody said, yes, I'm going to do this, or yes, we're going to go there, or yes, this will, occur. And yet that doesn't happen. And after a while, somebody no longer even has faith. Now, this could also be that there's a conflict about dogma. Maybe somebody's very rigid. They're all in their head, the way that they communicate. They're very analytical. There's no emotion there. And maybe somebody needs to break out of the routine or what their belief system is, their values. They may be very stuck. You may have to be more original. And there's an opportunity here, something of luck that involves discord, arguments, agreements. Maybe you're arguing over, money or a fortunate circumstance. Somebody may be trying to win at all costs. There's some difficulty in communicating, though. And so perhaps that's the issue. Now, the underlying influence is this Seven of Swords. And, this isn't the greatest card unless you're using that energy constructively to come up with a strategy. So for some of you, you're at risk somehow. There is a situation where you're having to look at who you're involved with. There's some kind of integrity issue. You're being put on the spot, or the other person is, something going on in the relationship. Maybe, you're looking at issues of exploitation, a threat to your possessions, your health, your safety, your assets. So you're going to have to be mindful of how you seek involvement with others. Are you getting involved with the right people? Are they taking advantage of you? Or you're trying to do that to them? Some of you, this is an escape card. Maybe you're dissatisfied, something is on offer, and you're choosing the escape route. You want to remove yourself from a situation that doesn't have anything to do with you or that you don't want to be involved in. Some of you are perhaps involved in some kind of secret love affair, or your partner is, and maybe that's why one of you feels like you're being left out in the cold. Somebody may be sneaking around or going behind the scenes, doing something under the table, and so that creates an issue. For others of you, this may be simply mundane. This is about going from one place to the other, or, you have a lot going on. You're going back and forth, a lot of errands, a lot to do. Maybe you're thinking of relocating. But this is also about being strategic, acting in your interests, and even if you have to do it by stealth. And it may tie to memories that you have and being unable to make a decision. So you may be avoiding something. Again, that Four of Cups, you don't want to deal with it. You haven't come to terms with that something, a situation has changed, or the relationship has changed, somebody's feelings have changed. There's some circumstance, and maybe you're avoiding that decision. And it could be because you have some memories tied to a relationship or a person. Again, you're seeing the rosy parts of a situation. You remember the good times. And so it's difficult for you to make a decision about something. Now, your advice card is, I can open to new perspectives without feeling threatened. So, again, this is about this Sun card, not getting frustrated, not feeling as if things have to revolve around you, not using the Hierophant to be dogmatic and your beliefs are the word, that's it, or your partner being like that. So opening up to new perspectives. Perhaps you need to be more original. There's a different way of doing something. Now, your outcome is the Nine of Cups and the Star. This is about satisfaction. Are you satisfied? Somebody may be closed off emotionally. Could also be issues connected to people of influence or wealth. Your partner may be wealthy, very attractive. So there may be your connection to someone of wealth. But for others of you, this is about getting your wish, and was it what you actually wanted? You have to make sure, again, this says, maybe you're not making the best decision because you're looking at something through a rose-colored glass, but are you really satisfied? Is it what you expected? Is it everything you had hoped for? You're likely to get what you want, and that's why you need to be careful about what you're asking for. If you do want something, this is the time to go after it, because you can get that attractive person, or you can wield your influence. You've got support. People are watching you. They're connecting to you. They're drawn to you. There's something to look forward to. But this is about being absolutely clear about what it is that you want, because it may very well be coming. And you have the Star card here. So this is faith in feeling satisfied. Maybe you're closing off because you're stuck in your belief system. This is another card of putting your faith in something and needing to be careful that that faith is warranted. Now, this is a time of optimism. You're on the verge of some kind of change. You have the Death card. This is tremendous, profound change. And with the Star card, there's some optimism, some faith. Maybe there have been some setbacks. Maybe you were left out of something. Maybe you were frustrated about some situations. But you understand that every single one of those served a purpose. It brought you to a certain place, a certain understanding, a certain awareness. And you're also being protected and guided by the universe. You're being set on a particular path. And so you know that there's a profound change coming, even if you can't exactly pinpoint what that is. This is a time for you to rise to the occasion. Perhaps you feel vulnerable with everything that's happening. You feel exposed or open. But this could also be a time where people are, or your partner is recognizing your star quality, what you possess. You could have the center of attention right now. Or you may be seeking that, or your partner may be seeking that. It may be time to open up and make yourself more available. And something could be happening very soon that's going to rejuvenate you, light your fire, make you feel more alive, make you feel refreshed about life again, because you have greater confidence. Perhaps it's because at the end of the day, you know that you have found the one. There could be something fortunate happening. You have confidence about going after something that you want, because you've connected to somebody who contains all of the traits that you're looking for. This is the total package, marriage material, somebody worth waiting for, somebody worth spending a lifetime with. Or you could, again, just be getting a lot of attention, some recognition finally. So this is about being satisfied with how things are going, having faith, remaining optimistic about something. You have a lot of major cards. This is going to be a very emotionally or spiritually significant month for you. You've got 5 major cards here. So whatever you're dealing with, you've got a lot of keys also to overcome these challenges. So for some of you with the Death card, this means that you need to regenerate yourself, your relationship, your outlook. Whatever needs to be changed, you need to get in gear and start making those changes, because there's some area of you or your life or your situation that may be stagnating. You need to cut out all of the dead wood. You need to purge and let go of things that don't make you feel happy, desired, loved. And the Sun card says you need to be optimistic. You need to be hopeful about the future. And you need to showcase your best qualities with regard to your relationship, your partnerships. This is when you bring out the best in yourself, where you maybe you're more encouraging with your partner, or you say the right words, you're more friendly, you're more diplomatic, you're more willing to overlook the frustration, or let the frustration guide you to make positive changes. The Chariot card says that, again, this is about working as a team, being a team player, not being apathetic or totally focused on what you want as opposed to what we want together. And the Hierophant says that your value system is important. What do you believe in? And do you show up? Are you committed? Are you meeting expectation? Or is your partner? And are you being stuck or rigid in some way? Do you need to make some changes that are more original? Step outside the box, outside of the line. And with the Star card, you need to have faith in what you're doing, faith that even though something may feel uncomfortable, that it's meant to be, it serves a purpose, but not investing in something where you end up deceiving yourself. Or you had a lot of cards that had rosy tint to them, looking at something clearly, not glamorizing it and making it something more. So these changes may affect your perspective. It may have to do with your income, your work, your value system, your sense of self-worth, the way you express yourself, your romance, how you communicate, and something perhaps going on behind the scenes, either literally or psychologically, emotionally. You're having to look at where there may be something that you're doing that is a bit of self-sabotage or self-undoing. You're definitely looking at your partnerships, whether you are satisfied or not, whether you're satisfied with offers. But there's some frustration here. It may be due to some third-party interference. It may be due to a breakdown in communication. It may be because, again, you've gotten some unsettling or disturbing news, something painful to deal with that maybe you weren't prepared for. And it may have to do with promises, whether those are kept, whether those expectations are met, and also perhaps to some invitation, an invitation to an event. And again, you're dealing with frustration in different areas where there could be a conflict of interest. So this is going to be an emotionally challenging month for you. You're looking at partnerships, agreements, collaborations, whether you are dealing with people constructively or destructively, whether you're, allowing yourself to be handled in a negative manner. You're likely to get what you want again, but whatever you get, it's going to change your attitude, your perspective, your understanding, your awareness. And it ties to the future, your long-range destiny, your goals, and the people that influence that. All right, Pisces, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Make some positive changes in your relationship. Create a love revolution.